welcome back to my channel. So today I created this look here. It's sort of alien-esque, I think, and it's really bold with blues and greens and golds, and I played around with the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. This palette is so beautiful and I was so excited to finally get to play around with it. I've had it sitting in my drawer untouched since June, so I'm very excited that I finally got to play around with this. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, then you're in the right place at the right time. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. So before we jump into the BH Cosmetics Festival palette, I did want to just tell you what is already on my face. I did already start and put pretty much my entire base on. The only thing I'm missing is highlighter, which I'll do at the very end. So I am wearing the Temptu Base Smooth and Matte Primer. For primer, it's really mattifying. It's my favorite primer. And then for foundation, I'm using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and I'm in the color Snow. To set everything down on my face, I used the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the color 10 Fair Light. And I also used the Becca Perfect Skin Mineral Powder Foundation in the color Sand, which is a really nice, it just darkens the look since it's summertime still. For concealer, I used the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light. I set that down with the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. For bronzer today, I actually used two different bronzers. Of course, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the light version. And then I also used the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer in Park Ave Princess. So it's a little bit deeper, so I contoured with that. And then for blush, I don't have a lot of blush on today, but of course I use the Lancome Sheer Amorose Oil-Free Blush. And for brows, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Soft Brown, and I set that down with hairspray and a spoolie. I did set my whole face down using the All Nighter Urban Decay setting spray. So pretty much I saved us some time with taking care of the face first. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in a couple of minutes, but we're gonna jump in and play around with the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. It is a 20 color shadow palette. I've had this palette for a hot minute now. I just have not had time to sit down and film. It's been so long since I filmed, so I'm a little bit rusty, I think. I got this palette for my birthday, so I'm really excited to finally get to play around. It's September now, and my birthday was in June, so I've had it for a hot minute. I really want to do a blue and green and yellowy look. Peep my Gen X pen merch. So I'm wearing yellow today, so I want to incorporate that. I do have places to go, so hopefully it turns out okay. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we'll go ahead and get started. So now that you guys are zoomed in, we're ready to go ahead and get started and play around with the palette. I love it. I'm not going to insert any swatches. There are a ton of other reviews. This palette was released probably about 4 months ago, or I think people started reviewing this palette pretty heavily about 4 months ago, so I'm not going to go ahead and insert any swatches. Plus I'm not very good at swatches, but I do want to start off with this blue color down here. It's a matte aqua color and it is Palooza. That's the color, Palooza. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that comes in the Prism palette, and I also have the Norvina palette. So this is the brush from there. I'm going to use the fluffy crease end of that, and I'm going to lightly go in with Palooza, and I'm going to buff that into my crease and the outer V area. So I went in pretty light-handedly with that. It's very pigmented. I barely had any product, and I don't have any fallout, which is good since we already have the base done. I want to go in with a smaller brush, and this is actually an e.l.f. eye crease brush, so it's a little bit denser, and I'll be able to control where the product is going a little bit more. And I'm going to apply that in the same area, but just intensify the color. then back in with that same brush from the Anastasia palette, and I'm not adding any more product, I'm just sort of buffing out the edges. pigmentation of this is so beautiful and it's so easy to work with, so I'm really happy with that. I'm next going to go into this cobalt blue color, and this is the color Trance. Now it does have a shimmer to it, but I'm going to apply that to the outer V pretty lightly, and I'm just going to go back in with that e.l.f. brush to do so. Again, back in with that brush from the Anastasia palette, and I'm just buffing out the edges. And then I'm gonna go in with the color Neon, which I actually really want Neon to be sort of the highlight of the show. It's this really nice lime greenish gold color, and I don't have a color like this in any of my other palettes, so I'm gonna apply that on the entire eyelid. So I'm just going in with a shader brush and I'm gonna pack that on. I'm not going in with a shader brush. This shadow is really foiled, so I'm actually going to just go in with my finger. I'm afraid if I go in with a brush, I'm going to have a lot of fallout. A little bit of concealer, and I am gonna cut the very inside of my crease. So I'm gonna go in with, this is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Fair 04. It's very, very light. I'm gonna just put a little bit of that on the back of my hand. I'm gonna go in with a flat concealer brush. I'm gonna go in on the very inside of the eye, and I'm just gonna cut out the very inside here, and I'm gonna add a lighter shade there. I'm going to go into the color Euphoria, which is this really nice yellow gold color, and I'm going to pop that on the very inner corner. And then I'm just going to blend everything together with a little bit more of Neon, that green color. And then going back in with the e.l.f. crease brush, I'm going to go back in with Trance, that cobalt blue color, and intensify the outer V. Okay, so the memory card was just full, so I don't know what you've seen or not, but I really haven't done anything at all. I applied Euphoria on the very inner quarter where I cut out the crease, and now I'm just going back in with Neon, the green color, and I'm just blending the two areas together, and then going back in with Trance, the cobalt blue, and intensifying the outer V. And then going back in with Palooza on that e.l.f. brush, and I'm just going to sweep everything together with that. Back in with the Anastasia brush, and I'm just going to blend everything out. I'm going to go in and smoke out the lower lash line, and to do so, I'm going to go in with the color Palooza. To intensify that, I'm going to go back in with the color Trance, the cobalt blue, and I'm going to intensify the lower lash line color. I'm going to go in on a small concealer brush, and I'm going to put in Neon and Euphoria on the very lower lash line. To have a little bit more control over the pigment, I'm going to go in with the Mario Badescu Aloe facial spray with aloe and cucumber, and I'm just going to spritz the brush. And then on my very first finger, going in with Euphoria and throwing that in the lower lash line. I'm going to go in and put on some winged eyeliner. I do feel like this look calls for something a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to go in with, this is the Kat Von D Tattoo Eyeliner in Trooper, and I'm going to throw a wing on. Nothing too crazy, but a wing nonetheless. For mascara today, I'm going to pop on the Clinique's High Length Mascara. I'm going to do a very generous coat of that because you know me, I am not putting on falsies. I got mascara on my eyeshadow. I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen and keep going. Was a struggle, a real struggle. I am going to pop on some of the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in the color Flexitarian on the very inner corner of my eyelid because I want a bold and poppin' highlight as per usual. And then for the very upper brow bone, I'm actually going to go in with the color Trixie, and I'm going to pop that on with a shader brush. And that is the eyes. I'm going to zoom you guys back out and then we'll pop on some highlight and some lips and then we'll finish up with my final thoughts. Alright, so now that the eyes are done, I'm pretty happy with everything came out. I want to throw on some highlight and some lips, and then I will give you my final thoughts on the palette. For highlight today, I'm going to go in, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Bar. This is, I think, from their new collection, like Fire and Ice or something, I believe. So I'm going to go in with this and throw that on really quickly. And I'm just going to go in, this is a Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush, but I've actually been using it for highlight. For lips today, I'm gonna go in, this is the Tarte Color Splash lipstick in the color Pink Lemonade. I love the packaging of this so much. It looks just like the bottom of a pool. It's so pretty, and it's a really light pale pink color, so I'm gonna pop that on. I was actually going to pop on a gloss on top of this, but I think I'm going to leave it for this look just as is and sort of leave it there. It's a very nudie, peach-ish colored lip, so it sort of like blends in with the bold look. So that completes this tutorial. It was a little bit of a struggle because my memory card kept telling me that it was full and the battery was dying, and it's been a hot minute since I've actually sat down and filmed, so it was a little bit of a struggle. But just some final thoughts. I only played around with 4 of the colors in this palette, and of course there are 20 different colors. I only played around with these, but I really liked how they performed. A little bit of fallout with this color Neon here, but other than that, everything was really good and I really enjoyed playing around with it. It was very easy to work with. I am going to do another tutorial using this palette, and I would like to play around with some of these pinks and these orange shades, so I will get that posted on my channel hopefully before the end of the year. It just sort of depends what's released and what I feel like filming and what I have time to film, but so far I really liked this palette. I hope you guys liked this look, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time with another new video. Bye guys!